Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Automatons Beta and the stuff that I've been having a lot of fun with. And as you can see in the background, there's quite a lot of intercept drones that are just going to be pummeling this poor little ship. Because yes, that's been basically what I've been spending most of my time with, the intercept to make custom missiles. Yes, the beta itself has been exceptionally stable. I've had a few crashes here and there where I've been trying to push the limit on what certain things can do, and it has been a lot of fun. So what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the task block for a simple airlock. Then we're going to be going over to the missiles and what you can do with the missile system, as well as all the little drones and the other stuff you can do with them. So over here, what I got is an example of the event controller block and what you can do with it. It's simply a airlock system that Keen themselves set up as a tutorial on how to use this, and this is all we're going to touch with it because I spent most of my time making missiles and drones and slamming them into space pirates, which is going to be the bulk of this video. What I've done is got an air vent with a doorway that's open to the elements, a button panel in the middle, air vent right above there to pressurize and depressurize the area, then have a doorway with a yellow block next to it, where the yellow block is going to represent the interior of a base that you walk into through this system. So simply come all the way across, over to the doorway, and press the button. So pressing the button, that door's going to close and turn off to make sure nobody can open that door accidentally and let out all your oxygen. This will now pump the area full of oxygen, then once that's done, the doorway to the interior will open up and allow you to walk through. And once we want to go outside, we now press the button once again, and this series will reverse itself, where that will close, turn off, that will suck the oxygen out, then that will open up. And of course, if you have multiple people that go to your base, you may want to have a double airlock system so you can have one of these systems on the opposite side and have it on the reverse steps. So when you open up this and that closes up, the doorway outside on the opposite airlock will then open up. So you can just simply have a looping system to make sure nobody gets stuck outside and nobody gets stuck in the base. But now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the bulk of the video, which of course is the missiles, the drones, and what you can do with them. Now what I've got here is a bunch of examples on the Earth-like planet, where, well, this is just simply a lot of fun. Now there was a script a long time ago that I used to use a lot, which I believe was called the custom missile script, but that had a small issue of requiring a targeting system, so a turret to actually look at the enemy to point the missile towards it. But this has none of those issues. These missiles have 2.5 kilometer range, which is absolutely crazy, and they work bloody flawlessly. So what I've got over here is a very simple missile. It's simply a hydrogen-powered missile, got some warheads on the top. We've got some time blocks on the Higgs that was attached onto a ship, make it a bit more fancier, but you don't need to have them. And yes, once I was to copy and paste this, then go over to the space pirates, which is somewhere in the distance, drop this in, turn on the AI, and away it goes. It's going to fly over to the space pirates, slam into it, and hopefully the warheads will detonate and deal a nice bit of damage. What I'm not going to do is follow it with the free camera, because when I did so during my test video, well, they seem to get stuck in the sky. I'm going to put that down to a bug, and hopefully that'll get fixed before launch. But there we are, you should have seen a small explosion over there, very hard to see, and now that one has, well, lost all its hydrogen. Anyway, find the free camera and come back over to my patch of ice. That was a small demonstration of a missile you can make. How was that set up? So we're going to come all the way over, drop myself down. There we go. And find out where that missile has gone. Here it is. So this thing has been set up with simply two blocks. We've got our flight block and our AI assault block. So here we are, there's the flight. We simply turn that on, turn on AI behavior, and that is that. Of course, you've got your speed limit down here. You can set it to whatever you want. I usually just whack it up to 100, and then everything else can be ignored. Then we simply come over to the AI offensive, turn it on, turn off the AI, and come all the way down, set it to intercept, and away it goes, and it'll slam itself into the nearby enemy within 2.5 kilometers. We can do other stuff. We can make it circle and orbit, which is more for drones. We can make it hit and run, stay at range, which is once again for drones. Or intercept, which, well, you can turn pretty much anything, a small ship, a large ship, into a missile. And, well, yes, that's been what I've been having a lot of fun with. Anyway, what can we do with these missiles? Well, much like the custom missile script, what we can do is have proper missiles on ships. So this is a small atmospheric ship. I've got two of them attached on. And this is the purpose of why I've got some time blocks on this ship. So when I detach it, it won't immediately launch off, risk damaging anything on the top of the missile or the atmospheric thrusters on the ship. So yes, we're just going to come into this, turn on the power and fly this thing away. So what I've done with the time block in terms of the steps of what it's doing is that it'll disconnect the merge blocks, then after 3 seconds it'll then activate the AI or activate the hydrogen tanks, that'll turn on the thrusters, and it should fly away over to the space pirates and do its thing. So here we are now in range. I can press number 3, that'll activate the system, it'll then drop down. And then away it goes. It's going to fly all the way over to the space pirates and do what the missile did before, simply slam into it and let the warheads do their work. And of course, this doesn't need to be used stationary. You can be flying at high speeds and it'll do all the work itself. And it does benefit from having a very well balanced missile in terms of thrusters, so if you do launch it dodgily, it can recover itself and go to the target. So here we go, flying at 100 meters per second, pressing number 4, that'll then drop down. Now after 3 seconds, it will activate. And away it goes, simply turns around, targets the space pirates, and off it goes on its merry way. And of course, after a few seconds, there it is, it'll slam into the space pirates, and job done. Very nice stuff. I'm still very impressed with how this is simply a plug-in and play in terms of missiles and ships. And well, hats off to Keen. But yes, what can we do with small fighters using this same tactic? Well, if you have any kind of ships that you don't want anymore, and say you're at the stage of the game where you don't need the resources from the ship, well, congratulations, you can promote it to a missile and let it have some fun. So unfortunately, the game crashed multiple times in a row while attempting to change that small ship into a missile and slam it into the space pirates, so you're going to have to use your imagination for that one. Not too sure why that's happening, it was working perfectly while I was testing it out, so we're going to have to skip slamming large ships into the pirates, because I have a feeling it's just going to crash repeatedly. What other things can we do with this new update? Yes, we can have custom missiles on the back of vehicles, so it's going to be basically the same as that one, but for land vehicles, we now have a very nice little fancy system. In fact, that's not the one I want. I want to come over to another one, which I set up earlier, which is still facing the space pirates, where I crashed against quite a few times. Let's just ignore all the angry drones, and we'll try and find out where that small rover has gone. So here we are once again next to the space pirates, but they're 2.3 kilometers away. But I can now come into this. We're going to be aiming in a different direction, so there they are to my left-hand side. I can now put that down. Press number 4. That'll now launch all the way up. Away it goes. Then it's going to set on a 2-stage system where it will go all the way forwards, then after a certain amount of time the AI will kick in, they'll fly all the way over, much like the missiles I showcased before, to the space pirates, and it will explode with its warheads. There we go, just a very nice and very fun thing to play around with. So coming back over to the patch of ice, I've got a few more vehicles to go through, then that'll be the end of this video. Hopefully these won't crash, but yes, let's talk about land vehicles. So grabbing and hold my character, what I've got is a bunch of vehicles with their wheels on their side. These are generally just hovercrafts or surface skimming vehicles that work very well with thrusters. They can go in all directions, and it works very well with the drone setup, where even though it can't move up and down, the AI blocks will still be able to move this thing around, be able to follow you, be able to go after enemies, or simply be clamped down onto the ground. So I've got 2 examples. I've got one over here and a nice large one, and I think that'll be that for the video, because I don't think I'll be able to showcase the drones, so I have a feeling when I activate any kind of AI blocks going forwards, it's simply going to crash like it did before. Yes, hopping into this, putting the power on, I'm now going to set the friction all the way down. Now I'm going to come into the control panel. In the control panel, finding the AI blocks, we simply got a task and a move. The move is going to be simply like the missile, where it's going to be to set the behavior turn on, the speed limit all the way up, then everything else we can ignore. Then we've got the basic, the task, where we've got the AI turned on once again, and it's been set to follow the player. The follow distance is 20 meters. I'm now going to hop out of this and walk away from it, and what you'll find is now going to follow me around. Hopefully, please follow me around. It is now working. I simply had to spawn in a brand new one, and it's simply going to follow me around. I was put my jetpack, it should get up to high speeds. And there we are. It's going to be a bit wobbly because the vehicle itself is very wobbly while going around on the ice. But that is something you can do with the drone system by simply tricking it by having 2 thrusters that are not connected onto anything and having thrusters on every other direction. So what I've got is left, right, forwards and backwards on atmospheric thrusters, then up and down are 2 hydrogen thrusters that are not connected onto anything. They're just there so the AI block can see them. And it will simply just run around, follow me, and there we go. So you can, if you want to, make hovercraft tanks, which could be very useful while sorting a base if you don't trust their flying drones or don't think they'll do a good enough job. But yes, over here for the final example is a big version. So coming around to the doorway that is actually open, this thing is turned off. In we come, powering this thing on. Hopefully this one will work. I'm not sure, I might have to spawn in a brand new one. So just going to copy that and drop it down over there. And hopefully this one will also follow me around. So there we go, we can see it's now turning around to face me. It might be a bit slow because it is a exceptionally heavy vehicle. It's still got a bunch of stuff for my survival. But yes, it's now going to follow me around on the ice like a good little drone. There it goes, now going to spin around. Move it around over to here. Fly away a little bit. and hopefully it'll come charging all the way over 100 meters per second. And that is a very nifty thing you could do with a drone setup. So there we go. We can use this whole update to make custom missiles, which is an absolute fantastic thing. We can make land drones, we can make air drones, whatever your heart contains. It's an absolute fantastic update, and will make a lot of unique creations, and will change how combat works, especially in survival mode, because you can completely outrange the space pirates at 2.5 kilometers. So to finish off this video, what I'm going to do is attempt one more time to turn a large ship into a drone. Hopefully it'll work this time. I'm not too sure if it will or just simply crash. And then while that's loading in, I'm going to come into here, find all my angry drones. Let's just go and remove some of them just in case they are the issue of why it was crashing. There we are, they're now all gone. Finding the albatross once again, wherever it's gone. In fact, I don't need to do that, I just need to find the character. Flying all the way up to it, putting the AI block on top, so there is the flight. We want to have it so it's sitting with the rear behind it. There we go, rear panel. That's the right, that's the left. Pasting that down. We now want to have it on the offensive because we're going to set this to intercept. And now we need to have a button panel, and hopefully this will work. So there we are, my dampen is now on auto, so we should follow it along. Finding the AI. There's the move. We now put the AI behavior turned on. Seems to be working nicely. Speed limit all the way up. Coming to the offensive down to here. We want to make sure it's on the intercept. There we go. We want to set it down all the way to 5 seconds. And moment of truth. Please don't crash. And away it goes. We're going to come along towards those poor little space pirates. And hopefully this is going to work. I'm not actually sure what's going on here. It seems to be having a bit of problems actually aiming towards it. It looks like it's now righting itself. But we should be coming all the way down, or it's going to fly all the way around and try to go around it. I'm not actually sure what it's attempting to do. And it looks like it's attempting to use all the guns on top to blast the enemies, which is absolutely impressive. I still don't know what it's quite up to. It looks like we're about to crash down in the ground, which, well, makes perfect sense for the ending of this video. There was a small lag spike. I'm not actually sure if it's going to actually make it. No, it is not going to go simply to the side of the mountain. And that is that for this video. Yes, it's a bloody fantastic update and highly recommend checking it out yourself if you haven't already. You can make a lot of fun missiles. I'm sure you can make a lot of stuff with the event controller block. And it looks like it's actually going to attempt to go for the space pirates. Yes, this made me very happy. Here it goes all the way forwards. And that's what you call one hell of a missile that didn't really do too much damage. Anyway, I'm having too much fun with this update. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.